first. Let me see. All right, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? It's me, it's Tierra from Glitter Bifocals, and today we're gonna talk about mistakes. Hold on a second. We're gonna talk about mistakes. So I'm gonna tell you guys about the top 5 mistakes I made as an engineering student. Disclaimer, I went to Prairie View A&M University, the best HBCU in the land. Some of my things may be specific just to my experience, or some of it can help you. So, don't be like, well, my school don't do that. Okay, I'm just trying to help you out. And so if you're getting ready to go into school to pursue engineering, then just keep on watching. Just know some mistakes I made so you won't make the same one. I'm the first engineer in my immediate family, so a lot of this I had to learn the harder way. So let's just go over a few things really quick. My glasses are from Ray-Ban. And this shirt, this is what I wore to work today, by the way. This shirt is just like this black and white floral little thing going on. It's thrifted. I got it a long time ago. And then I got on these black little pants I got from Old Navy. And then my shoes are from Nine West. Okay, so give me a moment. Okay, so number 1 is not networking or not knowing how to network. So I'm pretty much an introvert, especially first going into college, going to a new school. I was in a whole new state. I wasn't really, I don't know how to say it. I couldn't easily just talk to people, especially industry professionals and things like that. So when I would go to info sessions, it would pretty much just be to say oh, I went and I got some good information, but I wasn't making connections. I wasn't networking and, getting business cards, sending emails and things like that. It took a while before I started to just evolve and know to okay, I'm speaking to someone that could be helpful to me, or someone that could teach me a lot. Let me get a business card and send a follow-up email. That's a great thing to do, and you just got to keep nurturing those type of relationships. Check in every once in a while if you meet somebody in the industry you're interested in, or something like that, or even another student at another school that's had internships or something like that. So networking is key. It's very important, and that's something I really wish I would have learned and perfected well before my junior year, which is around the time I think I started, doing more and getting a hold of that. Okay. Number 2 is waiting to do grade replacements. My school, they allow you to retake up to a certain amount of hours of classes to do grade replacements. And say you got a D in a class or something, and it's a major class. So 1, that mess up your GPA. 2, you need to have a C or better, usually, to let it count towards you graduating. So I didn't know that you should retake those classes as soon as possible. Those were things that were hurting my GPA, which was a big factor in why it took so long for me to get internships and for anyone to really take me seriously, because my GPA was just trash for a long time. Classes that I got just poor grades in, I should have immediately the next semester. I was able to take them over instead of, I think I started doing my grade replacements my senior year. And once those went through, I saw how my GPA jumped up, and I was like, what the heck, Tierra, you should have been did this. But nobody told me. I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I wasn't thinking about it. I didn't raise my GPA until it was almost too late. Okay, number 3 is career fair prep. Hold on, I'm getting a little parched. Okay. career fair prep. I did not know that you have to do real preparation before you go to a career fair. You just can't walk up to a recruiter and be like, "Hi, I'm Tiara. I'm a sophomore. What jobs and internships do you have for me?" Like, no. I didn't learn until way later on that there are steps and things that you can do and you kind of need to do before you get ready to go to a career fair to really make yourself stand out and to help the whole flow of the event better for you. So for me, what I would do before I go to a career fair, which I'm currently getting ready for now, because career fair season is coming up, it's about to be fall. People are about to start doing hiring for co-ops and summer internships, full-time positions starting at the top of next year, all types of things. So you really want to be on your A game. And if you're like me, I've been preparing for a while now, for like a few months. So I would go, especially if it's a big career fair, go on the website and look at the list of companies that will be there. Go through and research, do just like general basic, maybe 5 minutes or so research on each company, especially if you don't know what they do. Please know what a company does before you go talk to their recruiter, because it looks so bad when they're like, "Okay, do you know what company XYZ does?" And I'm like, "No, I don't." Like, that's a bad look. You want to have at least something, like to know what industry they're in or what industries they serve. Know something like that. Know as much as you can about the company before you go, and also look for their available and open opportunities at that time. So I would go on whatever company website if I feel like they may have something for me, or if I'm interested, I'll go look on their career site, do a job search, and whatever I see, if I qualify and I feel like it's something I would like, I would go ahead and apply prior to going to the career fair and speaking with the recruiter. So I would apply, I would take note. I keep a list with me, like in your little, what's them things called? Them little portfolio things. Y'all know what I'm talking about? They like black leather things. I can't think of it right now. But anyways, I keep those with me and I carry it with me at career fair, and it has my notes of all of the companies that I plan to talk to. So in those notes, I would put generally what the company does, and then I would mark my interests, like what made me interested in the company, so I would have something to talk about to the recruiter. And then I would write down which jobs I applied for, so I can tell the recruiter that I applied for that job or multiple jobs or whatever. And so that way you're kind of like already ahead of the game. If they're talking to you, you go through your resume and y'all talking and they like you, you already applied for the job. So I feel like it's easier for them to just go ahead and set up like your interview, girl, so you can nail it. Really take it seriously if you're trying to go in there and lock something in. Prepare ahead of time. Go in there, prepare, have your elevator pitch together, be dressed accordingly, and be confident. Okay. Number 4 was my trash resume. Okay, going into college, first of all, obviously I didn't have a lot of experience going in, but I couldn't get the internships I needed because of my GPA. So my resume just wasn't cute, y'all. Like, I didn't really have a lot on there. And I would go to resume critique events and everything like that, because we had those a lot on my campus, and we also had like a career center where they would look over your resume and tell you some things to improve. And I would always take my resume to those things when I go. And people were just giving me like really basic corrections. Like, my resume was super basic, but I had all the information that you would kind of expect, like an objective, volunteer things I've done, community service I've done, and I had some lab and research experience. So that's pretty much, that was all on my resume. But I didn't know that having all the white space I had on there was so bad, because I was doing all these bullet points and I was kind of keeping it brief. But with your resume, which people were not telling me until way later, that you know, use some words that make you sound like really good, like really beef it up. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, really just make it sound good. Like, don't just put basic things like I put data in a computer, do like I use whatever system for data analyzation and data entry, something like that. So really get your verbiage good, jargon good. I still believe that it's best to keep your resume one page at this point. You know, like even at my stage I'm in now, I've been out of college for 2 years and I still keep my resume down to one page. I don't think recruiters, especially at like career fairs and things like that, they're not trying to look through pages and pages of stuff. So just keep your recent information, like the recent internships or recent jobs you had, and put like make sure you put your skills and stuff at the bottom. I always put my organizations that I'm involved in and any leadership positions I have. And now, since I went to a lot of training courses with my current job, I put those training courses on my resume as well because they're pretty industry specific and that may stick out to a recruiter for a company that I may be trying to work for. Okay, the last thing that hurt my soul the most is just assuming that having a 3.0 GPA will guarantee you a job after graduation. Y'all, I literally went into postgraduate depression because all of the time I was in school, I want to say we because maybe it was just me, but I was like brainwashed thinking like, okay, get a 3.0, then everything's good, you got the job. Because every time I talked to recruiters up until I got my GPA up, after the grading placements and everything, the recruiters was like, it's the GPA, everything else is so good, but if you at least had a 3.0. So I'm over here thinking like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get a 3.0 and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna see y'all and I want my job. So I got to a 3.0. I did all my career fair prep. Like all of these previous mistakes that I had, I fixed. Like I was the bomb. And I had my 3.0 and I still wasn't getting any jobs. I was barely getting interviews. Like it was so bad. So graduation was getting closer and closer. And I just didn't know what to do because I was in my head, I equated having a 3.0 with a job, like having a job waiting on me when I graduated, and that was not the case. I ended up signing up with a temp agency because I needed a job in between time, like I still had bills to pay. So I signed up with a temp agency, got a little job, and was there for a few months. But in that between time, once I was fighting through my depression and all, and coming to the realization of what life really is and what was really going on, I was still applying for jobs, and somebody felt what I had going on, and then I eventually got a job, an engineering job. So yeah, those are the top 5 mistakes that I made as an engineering student. I really hope it helps somebody because I really don't want y'all to make those same mistakes. Like I'm trying to save y'all a lot of trouble. So I really hope this helps. Thank y'all for watching. Bye.